Hello everybody, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Adobe. Compliments of the season. Today is 26th December, Boxing Day. Yes. So, compliments of the season. Today I came to rant, but before I rant, let me just at least wish you all the best. Christmas has passed, so today is Boxing Day. I wish you all the best. I wish you Happy New Year in advance and all of that. Please kindly subscribe, like, comment, and do all of that good stuff. So, as I said before, I came to rant in today's video. And I just have to rant because this is something that we keep seeing day in, day out, and nobody says anything about it. Like, things have just been going so wrong in this country, and then we all just overlook it. Everybody say, oh, the government is that, the government is this. But how about us individuals? How about we that are into businesses? Like, why do we take things for granted? Even the government will take things for granted. Why are we taking things for granted? And that boils down to today, this morning, should I say we woke up or no? I was in church when the news came to me that, oh, next cash and carry is on fire. And that is what I want to rant about. Yes, I know the owner, who is Peter Obi, has lost so much money, but I want to rant about him. I want to rant about his carelessness and the carelessness of everybody, all the Nigerians, those that are into business, those that are not even into business. I just want to rant basically about it because people make these mistakes. We don't learn from it. We go ahead and make the same mistakes. So earlier this year, Ebano supermarket went on fire and was raised down by fire. I don't know how that case ended. They said it was a little girl who, was she even a little girl? I can't remember. I think she was 13 or thereabouts. Went on, and then I think she used the lighter, and then the whole place went on fire and the whole place was raised down by fire. And fire service were nowhere to be found. Nobody knew what to do. I did not just understand what was going on. I was thinking that this would teach a whole lot of people lessons, but no, it did not teach so many of them lessons. So now this boils down to Next Cash and Carry. Next Cash and Carry has a firefighting truck. They have a firefighting truck. So what excuse can we get, or can they give, that would have caused this fire to actually get to this level? Like, everything, the whole shop, the whole plaza was razed down. Like, what excuse would you give? There's a video, I don't think I'll be allowed to put up that video here, of one of because Next Cash and Carry is actually like is an umbrella that houses other SMEs, that's small medium enterprise business, small businesses. So you can just come register your business, and then when they sell, they give you a certain commission and you take a certain commission. So I don't think Peter Obi or Next Cash and Carry actually has its own products per se. It just houses other people. That's it. So one of the vendors of this Next Cash and Carry came out and said that every day when they come, they see people actually trying to work on the firefighting truck and all of that. Every day you see people working on it. You see people working on it, and they're always making noise about it. Then why is it that today that there's a fire outbreak, no one saw them? Like, it was so bad that the firefighting truck, I'm very sure that there's a firefight, because each time I go there, I see that firefighting truck, and it even got to a point I was like, oh, I like that this man actually put this into consideration. But it's a different thing when you put something into consideration and then it's not working. Like, how do you explain it? How can you have a firefighting truck and then there's a fire outbreak, and then that firefighting truck cannot do anything? I'm very sure again that Next Cash and Carry has fire extinguishers. Why was it not used? Like, why don't we learn lessons? And this boils down to another thing I want to talk about. Early this year or mid this year, fire service, whatever of Nigeria, I can't remember what their phone, FIRS is different. Well, fire service, whatever of Nigeria, they went around giving people bills, especially plazas, commercial areas, but let me just say commercial areas. They're giving people what type of firefighting instrument or whatever that would suit a particular plaza, because we all know there are various classes of fire. It's not the same device, like call it device, or it's not the same way you use in fighting fire when it's an electrical outbreak. That's the same way you use in fighting fire when there's, let's say, like gas explosion or petrol or whatever. It's not the same way you use in fighting. There are so many, I think there are 5 classes of fire: class A, class B, class C, class D, class E. I think there are 6 class F fire classes of fire. So you, for these various classes of fire, you have various ways of fighting it. So I know these people went round, and when they look at your building, let's say for instance you're into, let's say, clothing and all of that, they give you the type of fire extinguisher that should be used for your building. If they go to another and they realize that you're into chemical, they give you a firefighting this thing extinguisher that's compatible with your kind of business. I knew when they were doing that mid this year, I was just laughing within my mind, like, I'm sure they're trying to sort out one or two of all these orgas, big men. Maybe they just want to console them, and that is why they're just trying to do this. And I laughed over it, but I know it is very necessary. We know it is very necessary, but we don't even look at it like, okay, what can we do? Yes, we know the government is trying to make money for themselves, but this, at the same time, the long term, this is supposed to help us. Imagine that next cash and carry had this thing, had the fire extinguishers, or let's say they even had it, where their staffs trained. It's not the matter of having fire extinguishers all over, but nobody knows how to use it. I am also guilty of this. I don't know how to use a fire extinguisher. We have fire extinguishers in my office, but I do not know how to use it. So imagine now there is a fire outbreak. How am I supposed to do it? So everybody's at fault. We all need to learn. I think at this point in time, should I say that a fire safety officer should be employed to each building? The thing, even if you even employ a fire safety officer to that building, the day of the fire outbreak, you will not see them. So now what happens? Like, why can't we be accountable for certain things? If you're employed to do certain things, why don't we do it and do it well? If you cannot employ a fire fighting officer, then teach your staffs how to do it. Teach your staff how to use the fire extinguishers, because it makes no sense at all that this building, the businesses that have lost, that have lost their goods there are so many. If I'm not mistaken, millions or billions of naira have been lost by this fire outbreak. Why do we take things for granted in this country? Like, why? Why do we take things for granted? Because this shouldn't even be happening in the first place. And then I'm still trying to even wrap my head around why this should even happen. Why the fire extinguishers and fire fighting officers or fire whatever, as in their name itself is not even coming to me because they are freaking annoying. Firefighters. I'm still trying to even wrap my head around why firefighters were not available at the time when this fire outbreak started. They came after hours. Like, they always come after after all harm has been done. That is when you realize, you now start seeing them blowing their siren and coming to quench fire. Which fire? Fire that has raised down the whole building. These people pay their tax. So what's the essence of paying tax when on the day you need the most? It's not like you give us good roads. The roads are not there. Water is not there. See, when it comes to basic amenities, it's zero. So why can't you just give us firefighting? And then we realize that our government is not they are not people that we can hold accountable for. Why don't we ourselves at least do things that will safeguard our businesses at the same time? Why won't we do that? I'm still trying to wrap my head around the whole firefighting and the whole management staff and the whole facility manager, because I think if there was a good facility manager on ground, certain things shouldn't have happened. And then I now realize, when I now see videos of people looting this place, like, how did we lose our sense of reasoning? Like, how did we lose our sense of humanity, sympathy towards other people? We kind of derive joy in seeing other people go through pain. We kind of derive joy in benefiting from people's pain. These are people that have lost. This can actually be your brother or your sister that actually put in goods into that shop, and then you're going there to loot, to steal his or her properties because there's a fire outbreak. And then what even blew my mind is, I'm coming on Twitter and I'm seeing people saying, oh, would you have rather that the items got raised by fire or people loot it? For crying out loud, the answer I will have to give to such people who are heartless and meaningless is that if these people that are looting it actually went in there and tried to safeguard these properties, like, you go in there, even if I won't even advise anybody to go into where there's a fire out, because you can actually get trapped in that fire. But let's take, for instance, now you have decided to go in there. What stops you from going in there, getting out the things and trying to save the things that are in that shop? Must you loot it? And that boils down again to, when there's a fire outbreak, let's take for instance now that there's a fire outbreak, there's no water in the truck. What stops the security agencies from going into that place and try and safeguard the properties first? Like, why is this not possible? Why can't security agents actually safeguard it? But if you get to look at it, there's even those security agents that will even be the ones that would tell people to come and pack things because they want to get their own commission. Like the whole thing is just a mess. So I don't think I've answered that question well. For that person that was saying, would you rather that the items in that plaza get raised? And the thing is, some of the people that are actually selling this do not even know how to use what they are stealing. That's another thing again that we are not even talking about. We are not looking at. They are stealing things they don't know how the what, the value, how to even use it. That is it. Then for those that ask that question, okay, would you watch them? Would you rather watch that this thing is being raised down by fire? For crying out loud. If you yourself, if you had the guts, if you had the strength, if you had the mind to go into that burning plaza and take out things, then why can't you take it out and save it for the owners? Yes, you might not be paid for doing that, but what stops you from helping one another? Like, what stops us from helping people? But I'm not even surprised again, because you still find out that people who are involved in accidents, people still rob them. People who are even dead from accidents, you still see people rob them. People, or there's a fallen truck, a truck fell carrying fuel, carrying diesel, you still see people going to scoop it. People that are not even thinking and saying, oh, what if this thing explodes? Will I live? Will I not live? These are the kind of people we're actually dealing with. I know this is not just a Nigerian thing, but sometimes again we have to sit down and ask ourselves questions like, is it really worth it? Seeing those people loot those things, it made me very sad. Like, it made me so sad. Like, people are somewhere crying and trying to think of, how do I even start? Like, this is the end of the year. Why am I ending this year like this? How do I even start next year? The other guy that the interview, Premium Times interview, said he had supplied January and February stock, and the worst thing that it has not been signed. So right now he's running on losses. Like, how would this person even cope? How would this person start up? You're ending the year on a bad note. You're starting the year on a bad note. And then someone else is somewhere robbing you of your hard-earned money, strength, and everything. I think we need to do better as individuals. If you own a business, think twice. We should learn from other people's mistake. I hope and I pray that all these big shops, all these big supermarkets, plazas will learn from this. Like, even if you cannot afford a truck, a firefighting truck, for crying out loud, you can invest in fire extinguishers. Teach your staff how to operate these fire extinguishers. Teach them. If you cannot get the services of a fire operating officer, then teach your staff how to operate this. Like, we need to learn from people's mistakes so that it doesn't happen to us in the future. And it's so sad that this is the second, I'm not trying to be tribalistic here, but it's really sad to see that this is the second shopping mall or plaza or supermarket that is being raised down by fire in a space of 1 year. Just, maybe 6 months. Like, it's really, I don't know why it's happening. The other one, they said it was a lady that raised it down. I don't know how that case actually died down. I don't know whether the lady was taken to court. I don't even know the story, because Nigeria, something happens today, it trends for 1 week, and after that 1 week, everybody goes about their various activities. Now for this next cash and carry, as at time of recording this video, I've not been able to gather, okay, this is the cause of the fire, this was the cause of the fire. Nobody knows what actually caused it. And I hope they actually have CCTV as well. And we need to take things seriously. Firefighting, CCTV is very important. Security is very important. Water, see, everything, all the basic amenities you need for your businesses, take it. The government will not provide for you. We all know that. So as individuals, if you want to go into business, I think we should also actually make provisions for some of these things so that we will not get to lose it. And I hope they actually have a fire insurance that backs up their business. Although insurance is one thing that in this country is just a mess. So I want to know what you think about this whole fire outbreak. I want to know what you think about businesses, the way businesses are being run in this country, and you as an individual. Yes, we are in the year, so I think this should be like a wake-up call to all of us that are doing business, that 2022 we have to do things differently. I'm not saying it's when 2022 comes we'll now start, okay, we have to start planning it now. 2022 is less than 6 days now, so we have to start planning it. How do we not just planning, implementation is very important, because in this country we plan a lot, but when it comes to implementation, that is where we have problem. So how do we implement it? How do you implement these things in your business as well? So I think we should look into that so that we will not fall victims of some of these things. So I'll see you all later, and bye. Merry Christmas. No, not Merry Christmas again. We are done with Christmas. Happy Boxing Day. Did you get a box today? I want to know, and Happy New Year in advance. Bye.